All right, I'm back again. We're gonna try this again because I didn't like the way the last my last live video went. Just setting this up. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. All right, we'll try this again. Back again. Hello, my name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see. I help them see by getting on the outside of the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody believes in credit and debt, and they can't survive without it. And they're no good, and they're a nobody if they don't have a good credit score, and so on and so forth. That's where everybody lives. They live in this box, but they don't know they live in this box. They don't understand that money's spoken in two languages, debt and debt free. If you've always been in debt, you only live here, you only speak debt. You have no idea the language of debt free even exists. I'm this person that lives here. It's like the sides of a coin. Consumer side of credit, business side of credit, and the edge. This is where I live now that I'm debt free. I understand how they both work. Okay? It just fascinates me, okay? Once I became debt free, I could see how the whole economy works. You can see you can see the people pretending to be rich, and you can see the people that are really rich, and it's just a language. It's just the way people speak about money, okay? It really is that simple. And it's fifth grade math. I forgot about that part. Anyway, I've been fascinated by about these First Amendment audits, right, on YouTube, and they fascinate me because they're only armed with the law and a camera and YouTube live stream, right? That's all they're armed with. That's it. It's nothing spectacular. And it makes a connection with me because when I became debt free, this is exactly how it is for me now. When I talk about, if I tell somebody they are really not a homeowner if they have a mortgage, they'll argue with me. I just want to stop them and say, why are you mad? It's just math. It's not me. I didn't say it. Math said it. Why? How come they don't stop and think? How come they don't really stop and say, oh yeah, that's right. I did borrow the money from the bank, so that doesn't make it my house. So yeah, you're right. But that shows you how powerful it is because people, and it's an ego thing, all right? I want you to understand it's ego that prevents that from saying that. It just takes them over, even though they know logically that math says it's true. They want to fight with you and say it's not true. That's just ego. That's what I'm learning, right? Same thing with like if I told you on your calculator, what's 30,000 minus 100,000? It's negative 70,000, right? But if I said 30,000 saved for a house and $100,000 in student loan, try to tell that person they really don't have. Trying to tell a person they really don't have $30,000 saved for a house, they're really negative 70,000. They will fight with me and say, yes, I do. I see it right there. That's how powerful it is. So same thing with these guys on the First Amendment audits. That's what makes it so powerful that now what they do is they go out and film in the public basically, which is not against the law. You can film anything you see. Nobody can trespass your eyes. If you can see it from a public space, you can film it. So they film FBI buildings, postal buildings, police stations. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, why would they do that? It's not the point that it's something that people would do just normally. I'm going to go film the police. It's the point that they can do it, and it's legal. But they get in trouble for doing a legal act. You see what I'm saying? But they hold the police back with the same law those guys are sworn to protect. It works both ways. And all they did was read in a book and found out, hey, I can do this. And it's stronger than any weapon. And if you're not paying attention to this, you don't understand the magnitude of what these young men are about to do. They're about to change the United States. You know how Uber did the taxi service? It's the same thing. They're about to change the United States the way things have been done between citizen and police officers. It's about to change the game, and nobody can stop it. Nobody. It's crazy. And I just want to bring awareness to it. I just really have been fascinated by it, and I just want to, because it's not really doing any harm to anybody, because it's written laws, the Constitution, First Amendment, and it's written. It says this is legal for you to do, But since some officers may have not read that or paid attention to it, or even had to use it, because we always have naturally been able to give them their ID. You know, they can't just walk up and say, "Give me your ID," and you haven't committed a crime. They can't legally do that. Well, most of the people don't know that. Okay. Now, this is more for the auditors themselves, because I think the First Amendment auditors themselves, because I think they're missing a prime opportunity moment that I don't think they're seeing, right? Because they really are stuck on the police officers, but I think they're missing a piece that they could take advantage of, and this is what it is. And if you guys watch those First Amendment audits, please share this with them so they can see this, right? Usually when the First Amendment auditors are out there standing on the public sidewalk, usually a couple cops will come up, "Hey, what you doing? Let me see your ID," blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it's usually a young one and an older one, okay? Now, the older one, you can clearly see the younger one's following the older one. That's a sergeant or a lieutenant or whatever you want to call it, right? Now, the older one is usually going off because by this time he asks for the ID. The person that's doing the audit says no. And right at that moment, the older officer's ego takes him over, and then they start doing just weird stuff. But you got to understand, they don't understand what they're doing because it's just the law. The law is stopping them. If they stopped and recognize, oh, that's the law. Okay, crap, I won't. But they refuse to recognize it's only the law that's stopping them. So they start flipping out and doing all kind of things and crazy, but they always leave the younger guy sitting there. Like they always walk away, watch him, right? So the younger guy stand there. Now you can see on the younger guy's face, he's new. You can see his age. He's young. He's inexperienced. So he's really still open to listening things, even though he can't verbally say it, right? But you can just see it. I think when the older guy flips out because he just refuses to understand that time is now over, it's coming to an end, everything changes. About every 20 years, it changes. And so as he's walking away and leaves the younger guy here, here's the opportunity to look at that younger officer and go, just like this, Hey, I'm going to tell you something. And you don't even have to answer. You can pretend like you're not even listening to me. This is what's going to happen. I'm not going to give your boss my ID or you. I'm going to stand here and keep filming the police station as long as I feel like it. And you're going to get in your car and you're going to walk away. Now look into my eyes. Does it look like any doubt that this is not going to happen? Now he's probably thinking, there's no way that's going to happen. There is no way. As many probably interactions he's seen, he's probably thinking, no way that's going to happen. No, you're going in cuffs and back of car like it always has been. And then when it happens, no. And at the end of as you're telling them, and you just tell them, and guess where I got all this power? I just read a book and bought this camera. That's it. Read a book and bought this camera. That's it. Now don't even say anything and step back. Let the older guy come in. He's talking to whoever he's talking to because eventually he's going to say, okay, let's get out of here. And then they usually say stuff like, don't step in the street. They say weird stuff like, be careful. Don't step in the street, get hit by a car. That's the one they always go to for some reason. Or when they don't get the ID, they'll say, hey, where'd you park? But they don't know they all say those same things. It's the weirdest thing. But back to the auditors. Just say that. And I read it in the book. Now they're going to walk away and maybe they really want to be police officers, but they're going to realize that it's a new time now. Are they going to end up like the guys that are about to retire? Because they still got a lot of 20, 30 years. If they want us to go smooth, they're going to pay attention and focus on the real criminals. But don't get me wrong, it's only a minute of people like this. It's this small. But what they're, I don't know if, like sometimes I watch the audit and you can see younger, like if they're auditing a police pullover, right? And they have two young kids on the hood and then the kids will hear the auditors the way they're speaking to the police without getting arrested. Pay attention to the looks on their faces. They're going to thinking, how in the hell are they doing that? They're not going to jail? Then they're going to want to know, what is that? What did they do? How did they do that? They read what? The Constitution? I remember it in school, but I never paid attention to it. And then it just snowballs. It's about to change. I want to let you guys know you guys are doing an awesome job. I applaud you guys, what you guys are doing. I clearly see the movement. I clearly see it. And it's amazing, man. It's amazing to see. Here's one more for the auditors. This is what amazes me the most when you guys are out there doing this, okay? It's when you stop a bad officer in his tracks with the law, once the ego takes them over, they show who they really are without even knowing that they're showing themselves. That's the weirdest. And then when you guys you guys will say things like, I mean, once the ego is taken over, they're not even really hearing what you're saying to them, right? So when I hear the most about when you say you guys were looking for intelligence and haven't found any, they're like, oh, really? Huh? Okay, well, what? They don't even catch what you're saying, and I notice they say a lot of stuff that they do not catch. It's amazing to see the egos just fully take them over. Now I've seen some with the ego took over, but they regained and then came back and started asking questions. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, cool. Nice meeting you guys. But they don't realize they don't realize that if they just said, okay, it's the law and walked away, you guys' videos would be boring as hell, right? You would achieve your goal, but they would be boring as hell. With debt, what I do, it is boring. People don't want to face it. They don't believe it's real. And just like most probably don't even believe it's just the law that you're using. Most people on this side, they don't believe it's just fifth grade math. They don't really believe it. This was kind of a different one than normal, and I wanted to share with you guys because sometimes things just pop in my head and I just want to share it. So